welcome each and every one of you to welcome your friends and well-wishers onto this hallowed platform where we preach the gospel of freedom, the gospel of emancipation. Please draw nearer to your listening devices because the hour has come for the gospel to be preached. Therefore, as you may know, this is Radio Biafra where we worship. This is Radio Biafra, our gathering point. Our leader is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is still in the enemy dungeon, in the Nigeria DSS dungeon, albeit being released, discharged and acquitted by the Nigerian Court of Appeal on the 13th of October 2022. But he is still undergoing torture. The Nigerian government refused to obey their own court order. But we must continue because they believe that once they hold our leader, that IPOB will crumble. But we have proven them wrong. IPOB is indestructible. Therefore, there is nothing, I say, there is nothing the Nigerian government can do about it. IPOB has come to stay. As you may know, IPOB is for Biafrans. Biafra is for IPOB. It is not only for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, neither a private business. No. It is our collective responsibility. We have to gather and build a viable nation which is untenable in that zoo called Nigeria. Listen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what he said some time ago in a town hall meeting. Just listen. Just hold on.
IPOB has a mind of its own.
IPOB has a mind of its own. Are you hearing me? That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. IPOB is a movement. It has a mind of its own. Which means whether you cut off one of the arms, it will still continue living like octopus. Cut off one of the arms, it will continue as if nothing happened. The movement continues. Because it's not dependent on one person. No. We are all, we are all needed in the struggle. Because all of us have stakes in it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is our leader. But IPOB has its own mind of its own. That's the thing. Onye apo, onye ozo nochiene even that thing more than, and we continue. The movement continue. That is how it is. That is what it means. That is what our leader have said.
IPOB has a mind of his own. If I stop living up to expectation, this same IPOB that I set up will reject me. Do you know that? And IPOB does not belong to me. Biafra does not belong to me. It doesn't belong to my family. It belongs to all of us.
Do you hear what Onyendu said? That if him being the leader of IPOB, if he's not living up to expectation, that IPOB will really reject him. Or whether not that even, who is that individual then? If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can say this, that IPOB, even himself, which means he has given us the balance to judge him. It's just a balance to weigh him. Which means all of us have taken this struggle. What we are, our goal is the restoration of Biafra. And that's it. That's it. Therefore, IPOB is indestructible. For your information. Therefore, we must continue preaching this gospel. The gospel of freedom, the gospel of emancipation. This is where you can hear it without mincing words, without being trying to be politically correct. No, we don't do it here. We say it as it is, because that is how it is. Therefore, I once again welcome each and every one of you to welcome your friends and well-wishers onto this hallowed platform where we preach the real gospel. Ozioma kaina abasa here. Ozioma chineke kaina abasa. Forget about people that will come to colonize you, saying that Hana is Ozioma. No, that is not. This is the real gospel. Therefore, you can phone in to FM if you are in Biafra land, CHK 102.1. You can be hearing our voice through in different parts of Biafra land. There are some places that their transpondent or relay station is having some issues, which has been, the work is going on there, I can assure you. But meanwhile, you can download IPOB Community Radio, IPOB Community Radio in your Play Store. It is there, IPOB Community Radio. It is a very low data consuming application, and also you can download Simple Radio, so that through there you can tune in, you can search for Radio Biafra London, and you'll be hearing our voice, our programs live. Also, you can log in on ipob.org, www.ipob.org, that is org. There you go to live, just press live and you'll be listening to us. Moreover, we have our PayPal account there where it is written donate for ESN. You go there and fill in the procedures and make your donations as you wish. Because what we are doing, what we are seeing happening in our land, if we continue trusting our lives to the mainstream governors, Nigeria governors of Igbo extraction, we will finish. Do you hear what I'm saying? If we have you asked yourself, or do you used to remember, or have you forgotten the origin of ESN? ESN, Eastern Security Network, is a child of necessity. Do you remember, because if I ask, do you remember, I want you to just remember, because many of our people, they don't remember, honestly speaking. Once something 15 minutes say finish, they no more understand, they forget. Have you forgotten when the Fulani at the peak of Buhari regime, when the Fulani headsmen were everywhere on the rampage, openly clearing, destroying our farms with their cows? If you cultivate things like cassava or any other thing, they will uproot it and use it, even yams. Committing abomination in our land, they will uproot them and be feeding their cows openly under camera and be making caricature of it. If they see any girl, any woman there, they will rape him and they will rape her and kill her. Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten, I think in Aba or any part of Abia State, where one old woman was raped to death by a Fulani headsman? Have you forgotten? That time we were crying. Mazi Nnamdi was on top of his voices, begging the Eastern governors, Igbo governors, say please, Amoteku was formed to protect the Yoruba people famine, men and women, to guide against the influx of Fulani headsmen. Why not you gather and form your own to protect our people? Because what we are seeing in our land is overwhelming. Obiano came out that time to say that no, any Anambra person that is being killed, they will pay 500,000. The same like any cow that is being killed. So equation balance. He equated the lives of our people with cow, and even said that that he has Mietiela in his cabinet. So there is nothing you can. Who are we crying for? Nobody. Nobody listened. Have you forgotten how many times they dismembered, our people, killed them by Fulani headsmen, cut them into pieces and spread in the farm? You go this side, they pick the hand. The other side is the head. The other side is the bowel. Something that we have never seen in our land. It was happening. We have no place to run to. We talk to the governors, they don't hear, they don't even listen. What matters to them is to maintain their political governorship position. Have you forgotten how Autumn, the then governor of Benue State, was also shouting at his voices, on top of his voices, saying that if other governors if other states wants to be slave to Fulani, that he is not going, he and his state is not, and TV people are not going to be slave to the Fulani. He said it openly several times because of the frustrations that we received. Now, what happened? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, out of frustration, he diligently organized and formed ESN with a mission to protect our farms, so that at least our people will be safe in the farm, in order to farm. Because what they want to cause is one, artificial hunger, artificial scarcity. Are you hearing me? So that now Bill Gates will bring through his NGOs, they will be bringing their genetically modified organism food to our land, televising it in the mainstream media, that see how they are good, they are helping us, you see, they are feeding us, and we will be thankful of them, not knowing that they are the alma mater, the instigators of what is happening in our land. Do you see what the game plan is? Bill Gates is on top of it. Bill Gates is on top of it. That's why we are asking. It becomes a policy. IPOB is making it a policy that for our people to go back to farming. For our people to go back to farming. Because there is an agenda. A very big agenda. Bill Gates agenda, which you've known, revealed by Njemanze. Are you hearing me? And another one. Let me see. Let me play the clip which I played before. Bill Gates agenda, and to control our population. Because that policy, that agenda is two-pronged, double-faceted. One, to make Africa food dependent. So that, do you know at the early in our villages, we don't buy seeds. We don't buy seedling. Be it even yamo, be it corn, be it melon, anything egusi, ogo, we don't buy. Because you reserve what you are going to plant the next year. Put it on top of fire, mpoko. We call it mpoko. Whether corn, once the time of corn, once after harvesting corn, there are some pieces that will be put aside for next year planting. This is what they don't want. The world order, they don't want it. Because once you plant that same next year, you plant what you reserved last year, it will continue growing normal. And all those seedlings have been coming from centuries, millennium, from our ancestors, preserved, natural. You eat it without no problem. It doesn't cost, it doesn't have any harm. You know, before we plant, we don't even need fertilizers, chemicals. No. Things grow naturally, but today they are changing the situation. Are you hearing? Do you see? They are changing the situation. That is why they are using Fulani headsmen. Tell me, just sometimes you reason. You know, here we make ourselves to reason. We push our brains to reason. How on earth the Fulani headsmen, the Fulani that say they have land in the north, that only Niger State is more vast, is larger than the whole of southeast. They call us dots. They say we have no land, but that is that same land that they are bringing their. They leave all their lands in the north. Now they are coming down to that dot with the cows. Don't you think that there is a very serious agenda they want to achieve? For the Fulani, they tell them that you have to go and conquer. That Ottoman and Fodio have started it, so you have to dip Quran in the sea. That is the way they are being brainwashed. But the larger scenario is they want them to destroy our natural seedlings, our capacity of being food independent. Because when we have our natural seedlings, if we finish eating, now we reserve for next season to plant it. Once they destroy all those natural seeds, now you see through the government, now they will start distributing seeds. That seeds, all those seeds or seedlings, you plant it, it only flourishes and you harvest for 1 year. That season finishes. If you reserve the seeds to plant next season, it will never grow. Or if it grows, it will not yield, it will not reproduce. That inability to reproduce, because they have switched off the cells, the hormones, the system of that seed, the system of reproduction. And that is how, once you eat all those seeds, it is also neutralizing human system, human reproductive ability to reproduce. What they are here even or what they want to be in hold of this war, the Jidenaka. When you see the West fighting the East, Russia in Ukraine, it is not about what you are seeing. One country they are fighting. No, there is Russia is fighting a very monstrous war, opposing the people that wants everybody to be under them, so that they can be able to dictate, to decide. If they want to decide, okay, you Biafra, you say you need freedom. Say yes, okay, we'll give you, but your population must be maintained at maybe 2 million. That is what they want. And it is not only saying, they do it. Are you hearing me? They decide which country has which population and which other country have which other population. They decide which people need to be slaughtered in mass killing through what you eat. because you have to be dependent on them for food, for seed. If you plant, if they give you seed and you plant, next season you eat it, you finish it, next season you remove the seed, the ones you reserve, you go to replant, it will not reproduce. So you come back to the status quo to start begging, asking them now. Do you see? They will now give you conditions and put more chemicals for people to be dying. They tried in COVID-19, it didn't bring the result they want. Have you forgotten COVID-19? COVID, have you forgotten? Of yesterday? Have you forgotten? Which everybody was thinking that this world, everybody will finish. The way they bloated it, CNN every time for months, all they are counting is this country, this place, New York. How many people die now? There are people that are dying now. They are in Hungary. This and they made the world fear, create fear. No more people forgot even about religion. Have you forgotten? What happened in our presence? We need to learn. The West they don't want us to live. I am telling you, without the fear of favor. They don't want us to live. They want that God they are talking, they are referring to themselves as God to decide our life and death. It is for us to say no by our actions, collective actions. Are you hearing what I'm saying? What Russia is fighting is more than what you are seeing. They are fighting the evil Western world order put in place, which they want to use. Let me replay what I played before, please. This man is a Zimbabwean, but to compare it to the revelations of Dr. Njeman, and you will understand. You will know that what we are, the world we are living today is more than you going to trade the market, going to Aloba International Market, wait again and come back. It is more than that. Because there are people that are planning, mass genocide of human beings in this world. Are you hearing me? They want us to be food dependent. Do you know what it means to be food dependent? Do you know what it means to be food dependent? If that is anything they are in charge of it, feeding you, just like the Fulani are doing. Any slightest thing they'll say, no more tomato from the north. Do you know what it means? Let me play it again. I played it before, but let me play it again. Listen. Just listen.
Because of the drought.
Listen, let me start afresh.
Zimbabweans think that so here is the problem.
Listen.
Many Zimbabweans think that Zimbabwe is not able to produce food now because of the drought and because farms were taken from white farmers and given to black farmers. That is not the truth. The truth is Zimbabweans are failing to produce because it used to cost a Zimbabwean farmer, a small-scale black farmer in Zimbabwe, 0 cents and just labor to produce a hectare of food. But today, these Zimbabwean farmers were persuaded by companies like Seedco to get rid of their traditional seeds that used to be able to reproduce.
Do you get what this man is saying? Do you know in different African countries they are using different forms? In Zimbabwe, they use their so-called intellectuals, agronomists, different learned, so-called learned fellows, experts in agriculture. They use them to persuade our normal peasant village farmers things that have been going on for hundreds of thousands of years in our lands, in Africa, and we have been surviving, flourishing with it. They now persuade them that, oh, do you know what? This is a big yield. The one you are using is outdated. Jettison all those seeds. Use this one. These are also Zimbabweans, trained by indirectly in an educational system controlled by the same people, the evil colonizers. When you see the direction these people are going, you abhor everything concerning them, including their religion. I am telling you honestly. You abhor, not when I say hate is a simple, small, simple. Abhor anything about them, because their plan is evil. They make plans for future generations, but you will not see them because of ignorance. You will not understand. Are you hearing me? But here on Radio Biafra, we expose the inexposable. They tell you, paint it, through governments, they push it. Because, do you see why the situation we are in today is worse than when we were directly colonized? Under direct European colonization, we are seeing them. That, it is white people that are ruling us. District commissioners are in our land. There is a white man. You name him. You are seeing him. The provincial governor is a white person. So anything you hold him responsible directly. But that is no more the case today. Today they are using our own people, the same person speaking the same language with you, person with the same skin color with you, person their house, only that he went outside and studied, and now he will come back and start telling you this and that. That is the person they recruited, giving him wealth to to make him better, live well, and now use him to convince us that this is the best. Jettison is outdated. Those seedlings, they are no more, they cannot yield very well. They give you a new one. They dash you first. Listen, this is Greek gift. Onyinye mame water. The first of all, that test this seed, they are very good. Once you test it, by that time you have discarded your normal seedlings. You now test it, you see that now more fuma. Okay, hey, look at okay. Instead of him two bunches or funko now is 10 bunches. And they laugh. They have gotten you. Once you eat that season, you try to store some so that next season you plant. Next season you plant the one you stored, nothing. Nothing grow. You go back to them. They tell you no. Buy you have to buy. Last season we gave to you, so you have to buy. Now they sell to you big price. It becomes irreversible. You can no longer go and get back your old seedlings you have discarded. Our normal natural seedlings. Are you hearing me? Now you clear your farm. You need money to go buy seeds. Every year, every season. How much peasants are going to spend? Something you do free of charge before. Do you see Greek gift? Do you see that? This is food dependence. We depend on them. And as we depend on them now, with the chemicals, all those things they will tell you, they will dash you fertilizer. You don't know the component of the chemical component of all those fertilizers. Are you hearing me? All these things play role in our daily lives and livings. That is how they decide how many people will die this year in our land. How many people will suffer from kidney failure? How many people will suffer from different types of cancers that we never see in our land? How many people will die what you call mysterious death through something even hospitals cannot analyze in the zoo? You cannot see, they don't know the person died. Now they will use during all these deaths, they will still use their agents, religious agents, to start telling you that, look, your problem is your village. So you see that they hold us round that in a cage. I don't know whether people are understanding what I'm saying. I don't know. I took it easy today to explain some things, because we are in a greater danger than we think. Are you hearing me? That is why I tell you, stop thinking with sentiments. Make sure that in this struggle, as you are in IPOB, please, I am urging you, kill your sentiments. Make a sound judgment. Stop making judgments based on sentiment. No, you miss it. If you see something, you start making judgment based on sound reason, subjecting everything to the altar of reason. That is how you become civilized. Do you understand what I'm saying? The West, they don't want to. You see, they are in charge of those that are in charge of us. Can you just imagine how they are not in charge of us? No, they are more than in charge of us, which means they are in charge of those that are in charge of us. So they use them. Our governments are vassals, serving the West, in a way, in a very sophisticated manner you cannot understand. So they hold them. They just give them instructions and orders and push it, and they come. Those our governments now use their agents, local agents, to push it to us direct to the people, including religious leaders. They use them. Do you see how it goes? Now they are destroying our naturalness, African natural nature. They are destroying it all round, so that we become food dependent on them. We are campaigning for go back to agriculture. You see that many people don't even have seedlings, because you don't have seedlings to plant. I could remember when I was a little, even cassava stem, once cassava is being harvested, my mother will leave the stems, leave them outside. They will leave them there for next year. All this is progenitor. It will continue the same cassava. Where does it come from? You don't know. It came from our ancestors, thousands of years, because that is preservation. That preservation, that ancestral attachment is what they want to cut in our land. These people are trying, though. They have tried, they have used religion to turn us against our ancestors. Now they succeeded. Now they came through food program, famine. Oh, this is the technological advancement. Oh, yeah, use this one. Remove that. As they are doing it in our land, and it is not going as fast as they want. That's why they instigated Fulani headsmen to come physically to be destroying our farms. In the north, according to the revelation, they have achieved most part of their agenda in the north. They are no more planting a natural grains or seedlings in the north, in many parts of the north. Do you see that? And it's all these things they are bringing to us. Once after they bring for us to buy, and we buy melon and the And you don't know that it is what they farm, that all those GMO they are bringing. As they see that there are still some seedlings, natural seedlings remaining in the south, in Yoruba land and Biafra land. Now they are using the Fulani headsmen to do their job, to destroy everything, so that they discourage people from farming. Now no way again. Now Fulani headsmen just destroy our farm. So no need. Let us continue buying. Do you see? One of the main reasons they are mad at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at IPOB, for you to understand the difficulty, how difficult what we are doing is, for you to understand the hand that is holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because the ESN Mazi Nnamdi Kanu IPOB formed is trying to disrupt the agenda, the get agenda. Do you think like that? Are you thinking like that? Do you know? Do you know that? That the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, why they spent money, why the whole secret service, American secret service, CIA, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it. Those holding him is American secret service, CIA, and the M16, and I include the Israeli Mossad, because nothing will happen in Kenya without Israeli Mossad nodding the approval, either directly or indirectly. That is the truth. Do you think that it is a simple thing, and they spent these resources to bring down Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to rendition him? And if we are talking, none of them is the people that are lecturing about freedom of speech, about self-determination charter in the United Nations. They don't care, because they saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as disrupting their order, their world order, what they have put in place. Because they have calculated that, look, they will destroy, they will make sure that we become food dependent. And that is why we are calling on all Biafrans to continue. We are in agricultural revolution. Any slightest piece of land in your compound, anywhere, please make sure what we are fighting for is survival. We are not fighting for something extra. We are simply fighting for survival. I am telling you, if you understand what is in stock for us, you will put a hand, contribute your efforts in making sure that, look, this we survive, because we are fighting for survival. The Fulani that are being used, they don't even know what they are doing. For them, they are making sure to conquer, so that they will be in charge. Before they will realize it, it is too late for them. They are being used without knowing. The same way America, the West, they use ISIS, they use Al Qaeda. They formed Al Qaeda to fight Russia in Afghanistan. Have you forgotten? In 1979, the American CIA thought about what to do, what to use to fight Russia in Afghanistan. They said the only thing is to use. Now they started using the Al-Wahhabi preachings in order to summon Muslims all over the world to go and fight holy war in Afghanistan. America started it in this modern time. For your information, when you see ISIS or Fulani Caliphate or Islamism, it was started in this time by America. It's in history. Some people might be there now. Why this is historically something real. It's not a wurakukuifo. It's not akukuifo. Are you hearing me? This is history. They know. They started printing the preachings of the radical Muslim preacher at that time. I think it's 19th century. It came out 19th century. He is called Wahhabi, al-Wahhabi, whether Muhammad Ahmed al-Wahhabi. And they went and dig out all his radical preachings. How you have to go in anywhere that infidels are there, you have to go and fight from every Muslim all around the world. The America facilitated the movement of radical Muslims to go and fight a holy war in Afghanistan. Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten? They facilitated it. They printed out, they started distributing tracts everywhere in the Middle East, in the Asia, printing tracts for people to join the jihad. And they formed what you call mujahideen today. Mujahideen. Today. They formed it. America formed it. These people, they can fight dirty. They don't care about, they say, okay, let us fight this one today. Now, tomorrow, they will be able to control these radicals. And it extended to what we are experiencing today. Have you forgotten that they taught us in catechism that we have to pray for a country, an infidel country, Russia? Have you forgotten? It's the same thing. But in that Christian way, they did it in a way. It's not about to fight. They say, they make you understand that those are infidels. Russia is an infidel country. Have you forgotten? That is manipulation. That is the same way they manipulated all this radical Islam. They stirred up Islamic radicalism all over the world in order to fight their war. But for these radicals, they thought that they are fighting for Allah. They don't know that it is their Allah is America. The CIA. Do you see what man can do? They started fighting the same way in the Middle East when they facilitated ISIS during Obama regime. Have you forgotten? Turkey opened their border to Islamic radicals from every part of the world, including Europe, America, every part, Africa. Once you reach at the border between Turkey and Syria, they will close their eyes. You pass. They facilitated them to do their dirty job. That is the same thing they are also doing with the Fulani headsmen, the Fulani today. For the Fulani, they are strong. They are fighting. They want to conquer Onyamiri. They are seeing it in their religious and myopic point of view, but they didn't understand that there is a bigger hand that is manipulating them to cause one, artificial scarcity for food dependence on the West, so that as a peasant, as a village peasant farmer, before you farm, you must go and buy seedling. And what you are buying is also equals to debt, non-reproductivity. You do see it? If they say no, there is a lack of seedlings, so we are not going to sell, that village is sentenced to starvation. And you will see Caritas and Save the Children coming to bring Gary Gabon. They are video us. We are helping them. Do you see the type of world, evil world we are in? All this is what we expose here, please. You cannot hear all these things in the mainstream media. Never. Let's listen to the Zimbabwean warning, not only Zimbabweans, but all Africans in general. Continue listening.
Many Zimbabweans think that Zimbabwe is not able to produce food now because of the drought and because farms were taken from white farmers and given to black farmers. That is not the truth. The truth is Zimbabweans are failing to produce because it used to cost a Zimbabwean farmer, a small-scale black farmer in Zimbabwe, 0 cents and just labor to produce a hectare of food. But today, these Zimbabwean farmers were persuaded by companies like Seedco to get rid of their traditional seeds that used to be able to reproduce and they were given these hybrids that do not reproduce, or that continue to have reducing reproduction until they stop reproducing. Now the Zimbabwean farmer doesn't have that seed that can reproduce. So every season, the Zimbabwean farmer must go and buy new seeds. And these hybrids do not just grow, but they need fertilizers and chemicals to make them grow. So the Zimbabwean farmer must buy new seeds every season, fertilizer and pesticides to protect these hybrids. So now to produce a hectare in a village costs a farmer nothing less than $250 to buy the seeds together with the fertilizer for him to grow the food. This is a problem that is causing Zimbabwe to lose its food self-sufficiency. And the problem is that all the PhD graduates, master's degree graduates, and graduates that are teaching our people how to farm in Zimbabwe come from an education system created by the very same organizations in America that are selling these hybrid seeds and chemicals. So that's why we are in a cycle where we continue to produce food unsustainably in Zimbabwe, listening to graduates. Right now, the permanent secretary of agriculture in Zimbabwe, I think his name is John Basera, came from this company called Seedco that is owned by Lima Grain of France, while Lima Grain of France is owned by Monsanto. The American.
Do you remember the name Monsanto? Do you remember it being mentioned by Njemanze? This is a Zimbabwean talking the same thing. Now, remember we are Biafrans. That's why they are afraid of us. So that we must counter. You know, they call us the dot. Do you know the power of the dot? Do you know the dot can expand and overshadow 360 degrees because we are the dot. Do you know that? Do you know that? That's why we must counter what they are doing in Biafra land. We must go back to farming. You know, when we talk about go back to farming, some people think that we are saying no, leave any other thing you are doing to farming. No. You can sponsor farming anyhow. Even if you are working, if you are in Biafra land, all those times, you know, like I could remember even as a person that grew up in the village, sometimes Saturdays you go to work. Even sometimes you come back in the afternoon and you sleep, you go to farm. That is it. You farm now, Bobo. Any space available, you farm. You can rent it out to somebody that wants to farm. Let us prove these people wrong. Let us do to them what the way we did to them during COVID. To prove to them that they cannot kill they cannot kill us. That they cannot kill us. We are not spectators in this world. They want to make us to be just spectators. Anywhere that's you know, they are the players and we are spectators. No, we came to this world like them. The same way they came into this world. So we should not allow them to be manipulating, playing, and we are watching them. No, we have to be players. Let us show them that look, even this season that food we bracket in our land, we even don't need anything again being imported or brought in from the north. No, we don't need it again. Do you know what it means? You know, we are Biafrans, we are radicals. When we want to do something, we do it. Let us show them that nna amakwa na ma adara ọchị na ọwụrụkwa na ọchị na akwatu mmadụ ịgwa gị eziokwu. That we are doing now, we buy from they bring their tomato, we are laughing. Not that we cannot do it. Let us show to them when they will say tomato, we now show them that if you people want tomato, we can export and give to you people. That is how it is. Let us enter into agriculture. Both fish pond, fish farming. You know, fish farming. Fish farming. Somebody was telling me in which part of Yoruba land they have massive fish farming, and it is our people indeed will come to buy fish to take all the time. Do you know? Do you know how much this thing is? We can form cooperatives, because this is one thing I found out. We lack it. If everybody wants his own thing, and I don't want a problem. Let me do my own thing. Let me sponsor my own business and do it. We can form cooperative. The ability to form cooperatives in a business, in any way, to do something in common, is advancement in civilization. Do you know that? When you cannot form cooperatives, how can you build a country? No, just tell me. How can you gather and build a country without tearing apart? Because of you have to mellow down, and for another person has to bring down something, so that people can form cooperatives. This one bring 10 million, another person bring 1 million, another person bring 20. Depending on, now things will be arranged how they benefit everything. Now you start to big, even fish pond, the fish farming. You start animal husbandry. It should not be only this one person. I know I don't want, because do you know what it means? That we are not sophisticated enough to do combined business. Do you know the consequence? That we cannot even build a common country without fighting. That is what it means. If we can, as I've said this before, I've been saying it. Why I say we are still kind of primitive, because we lack this ability to be organizable. To organize and start doing so. If not, IPOB come and start doing things and start showing us. We start opening our eyes on how to do things and things, opening our eyes. That is primitivity, inability to be organizable. Are you hearing me? I used to give an example. Look at electricity. Everybody you can come in a house of four-story building of maybe 10 apartments, different apartments from 1 to up. Everybody I pass my neighbor. Or now I heard here, or now I heard there. And you ask, but these people, even in that street, even in that community, can organize themselves and say, no, instead of killing ourselves with pollution and noise and everything, let us know how to organize and buy one big lister, and know how we shall be contributing according to the way you use. That is where science, everything comes in, and be paying. So that in case the engine or generator has problem, in case people to maintain it, in case this and that happen, in case to buy fuels, now everybody will be using it. Are you hearing me? But no, this one will say, no, I want to do my own thing separate. No. Nah, I want to do he will go and buy his own generator. The other one say, no, let me know. That is a primitivity. Because you cannot be organized. Lack of organization is primitive character. It's not whether you have money you are waiting. No. It is not about it. So we are also urging our people, if you can come together, 5, 6 people, 10 people, even more, and say, look, how do we let us organize ourselves? All of you must not contribute the same money. No. It's just like buying shares in a company. You understand? Now you calculate. That's why I don't know the type of schools we are turning out graduates. What can they do? This is where it comes in. Okay, you bring so what is the whole expenses is 150 million. What we need now, how do we do this? Okay, we are 20 people. This one say, okay, I can contribute so. 20 million. I can contribute 30 million. Oh, this one said, no, I have 2 million naira. The other one, okay, I have 1.5. You know, according to, once you check all these things, you see that you get the money. Now, how do we share the proceeds? If there's any. That is how do you, that is it. It's organization. This is what IPOB is teaching. Not only individual, you must do your own thing. I must do my own thing. The other person must do his own thing. No, which means we cannot even live together. We cannot do things together. All these big things, you know, running a nation, it starts from running small thing. You just organize and run small thing. Now you see. Don't because of the difficulty you say, no, let us leave it. No. Don't run away because of the difficulty inside. Let that difficulty be a motivating factor, experience, and we continue. We agree to disagree. Let me continue playing this, because let me continue playing it to the end, please.
Organizations in America that are selling these high. This is a problem that is causing Zimbabwe to lose its food self-sufficiency. And the problem is that all the PhD graduates, master's degree graduates, and graduates that are teaching our people how to farm in Zimbabwe come from an education system created by the very same organizations in America that are selling these hybrid seeds and chemicals. So that's why we are in a cycle where we continue to produce food unsustainably in Zimbabwe, listening to graduates. Right now, the permanent secretary of agriculture in Zimbabwe, I think his name is John Basera, came from this company called Seedco that is owned by Lima Grain of France, while Lima Grain of France is owned by Monsanto, the American company that is the biggest producer of GMOs and chemicals that are used in farming. These very same organizations work with an institution in which Strive Masiwa was the chairman, that is called AGRA, that belongs to the Rockefeller Foundation, together with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, to control food in the world and to ensure that Africa comes into food colonialism. This institution was started by Kofi Annan so that they could get the trust of Africans.
Do you see how they do things? They use African. They use somebody of your color in order to do something to gain your trust. Kofi Annan started it. Do you see what Britain is doing, United Kingdom is doing now? To send people, asylum seekers down to Rwanda for processing. Do you see who they are using? During the time of other British prime ministers, they don't do it. They don't talk about it. But they are pushing it with this man, this present prime minister of Indian origin, who himself is an immigrant. Do you see how they do? Do you see where I always say that these people, they saw that Fulani always, they are the same, their modus operandi is with the Fulani. Do you see that? Do you see what I'm saying? They push they use your own person, as they are using Atoeze. Or who am I call for Atoeze? The owner of EDC to deal with us. The same way they used Obama to kill Gaddafi. They are using this Russia. What is the name of a British prime minister? They are using him now. Do you see how furious, how they want to achieve this? Because this is what they give to him. He must achieve. And that's why he's the prime minister. He will do the dirty job. They will tell him, oh, he's not an original English person self. After all, he's a Hindu. And you will see that many people that will fall victims are also Hindus. This is that immigrant. They say they use Kofi Annan, who is an African, in order to initiate this. And they will not understand. Some of them will not understand the future consequences of what they are doing. Obama, they used Obama to kill Gaddafi. Gaddafi that called him my son. The Gaddafi that almost cried when he learned that, when he heard that a black person is president of America. He loved Obama like anything. And they use him. Do you see how these powers, this world power, do you see this world order, these people, how they behave? They use their own person in order to do it. Look at today. They have voted pass bill into law in Enugu in order to form ranch. And the people might be seeing this thing as a positive. Okay, to stop this problem. Now, the government, we are no more looking at any person's eye. We must form ranch to stop the problem of herdsmen every time they are killing. You know, that is the agenda, the Fulani agenda. They start up a problem, and in order, the solution to that problem they will present to you is that the agenda. Finish. And now people will say, nah, people in Enugu will be saying, nah, if this is going to bring peace, now let it be. Now they will go and collect lands of people's indigenous lands. And when you talk, they say, do you want this killing to continue? Leave it to beg. Let's give them the land. You don't know what you are propagating, your own conquest of tomorrow, for goodness sake. You don't know. That is how they do. That is their modus operandi. We know them. They will continue making that problem until you now bring that their agenda as the solution, and they say, they promote it and say yes. Do you see? That is what they did with Kofi Annan. They started this, initiated it, and people saw it as a, hey, it's a good motive, it's this and that. Let me tell you, the highest thing you can do that will be abhorrent to the West, to the Western world orders, you are seeing it, is as we are opening people's eyes. Do anything, scam people with a fake anything, scam, no problem. Beware you, no problem. They don't care. As long as you are doing their bidding, they don't care. But once you enter into opening people's eyes, oh Chineke kwena nyojo, you become their enemies. You become their enemies. I will talk more on this on Saturday, please. This one will become more this thing. I will expatiate on it on Saturday. You know where I'm heading to. But they use Africans in order to do their evil bidding. Why do you think they are pushing? The UK Supreme Court or highest court has, refused about sending migrants to Rwanda. They say it's against their fundamental human rights. They push, no way, they cannot go through court. They push through the House of Laws. Even the House of Laws, they rejected it how many times? Now they have to come back and start afresh, making law, using doing their lobbying, because they don't want this. If it is only what this present British Prime Minister Lunak, yes, if it's what he achieved, if it is only what he achieved, Rishi Sunak, yes. Why do you think that they are pushing? They never push like this type of issue with others, with Liz Truss, with Boris Johnson, with Theresa May, with David Cameron, Gordon Brown, Tony Blair, John Mayer, Margaret Thatcher. No. They never put this type of thing. The only person, a son of a migrant, they now use him. I say the they act the same way with the Fulani. That's why they fall in love with the Fulani. Do you remember? I used to say it. The OIC, Nigeria government was, doing it secretly. They were not member. Nigeria was not a member, direct member of OIC, Organization of Islamic Conference or Community. But Obasanjo, who is a so-called Christian, he's a Christian. When he entered, Obasanjo openly normalized, because this OIC has become a public subject and debate that of Fulanization before Obasanjo, because all those times it was the Northerners during military this and that, so they were highly careful not to stir up Christ. They would say, no, it's because you are in power, it's because Fulani in power, or Hausa in power, you Northerners in power, that is why you are Muslims, that's why they cool down. Until Obasanjo, they told him in advance secretly that, look, this is the agenda you have to achieve, to openly put Nigeria into OIC. Number one, get Sharia, something they don't dare do by themselves in power as Northerners. They don't do it. They will not do it, because when now you will be seeing it, they are making genuine case for non-Muslims in Nigeria. Had it been the Abacha or Babangida, all these Muslims, the time, they will not do it, because other people will say, okay, you are now, because you are the head of state. Now they cool down. They say no. As of that time, they say no. Nigeria is not in OIC. No person have that mindset. This and that. Now, before they put Obasanjo there, they told him that, look, this is, if you agree, you enter there. Your main missions are to put Sharia in the north. They will agitate and you accept it. He said, no problem. And you openly, normalize Nigeria as an open member of OIC, and you defend it. He said, "Ow, no, you wait me this thing is something. No problem." Now they downed Olufalaye, who contested with Obasanjo, and put their man Obasanjo. Immediately they put him. The Northerners started yearning for Sharia, and he said no. He simplified it. Said no. Now political Sharia. Don't worry, they will kill themselves. They use their hand and reject the Sharia self. And every other Nigerian say, as gullible as Nigerians is with sentiment. Anyway, this man is a Christian. He understand what he say. What he say is true. Na Yoruba man, no problem. Na Yoruba like me. He understand, and it allowed it to go. Are you hearing me? Now he normalized Nigeria to become an open member of OIC. You can no longer talk as a Christian or a non-Muslim, because they will tell you, no, it's not also. Is it not your brother that put it? He's a Christian. So if he's a Christian and put it, know that he has no problem. It's not about Islamization. Do you see how they act? Exactly like the Europeans, like the West. Now, when Goodluck Jonathan entered, he go and Google it. Goodluck Jonathan became the first Nigerian president to physically attend the OIC meeting openly on camera. He's a Christian from Igbo land, from Biafra land. It's truth. So, on everybody close mouth. You know more. That one, the Fulani, they have achieved it. Their Sharia and the OIC. No more. You can you talk? If you talk and they say, who put it? Not me. Not be me. Brother will say, not be me. No be Obasanjo. I better go hold him respond. He put it. He put it. No be a fellow Igbo man go the meeting. Waiting, he become a Muslim. Did he become Muslim? Do you see their logic? How they deceive you? Do you see? They use you. That is the same way they use They use Kofi Annan to establish this. Bill Gates and Melinda, initiatives, which Kofi Annan is no more alive. But what he instituted, what they use him to institute, to instigate, he will hunt Africans forever. Do you see it? Now, this British Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, who is not a pure breed, a pure English, they are using him in order to achieve this goal before he leaves office. That's why they are making sure they are in a hurry. That is how they work. So that you don't see it that because Boris Johnson, you see, is a racist. He's a member of what do you call it? Eugenics. He is the biggest brother. He has a blonde hair and a blue eye. No, you don't. Now you are seeing a person that is not even. He before entering 10 Downing Street, he burned his candle, do his Hindu thing in camera, everything. People hate him, hate his culture, but they put him there for a purpose. Oh, they are my these people sabi. That's why they fell in love with the Fulani, because they do the same thing. Today, Enugu governor, he have said it that look, they put, Enugu House of Assembly, they have activated them. They put a bill to now government must put ranching in Enugu. How on earth you carry people's land for private business? How? Tell me how. This is an agenda. This is an agenda, and they are using our own people. The person speaking the same language with you, the person you are supporting, the person you call your brother, in order to achieve their purpose, which is detrimental to us. Peter Mba will go after for 8 years, but this thing is look at what Ojo Zokalo established. Which he boasted of it, that is the first person, that he first governor that brought Ruga. He said that is, he said the video is there, he said it. He said this is Ruga, it doesn't matter how you call it, it's Ruga. He is the first governor that brought Ruga in Logba. He boasted about it. Today, do you see the evil they are causing? They are expansionist. Fulani is expansionist. You give them 1 meter, they want 10 meters. From 10 meters, they want to collect everything. In Delta State, the Fulani, they are flowing in from everywhere, because they saw that these people, they are more viable. You give them 1 kilo of meat, they tell you about carry waka, carry enter. Are you seeing it? The mission, if we cannot afford to do nothing, we cannot afford to we'll be watching and doing nothing. It is impossible, please. Are you hearing me? That's why we must continue. Let me finish playing this very interesting exposition.
Food in the world, and to ensure that Africa comes into food colonialism. This institution was started by Kofi Annan, so that they could get the trust of Africans to control African food and to put Africa into food colonization. The main reason I speak against Tribe Masiwa is because he is bringing food colonialism to Africa through these GMOs, hybrids, and all this that they call agricultural technology of chemicals that destroys our soils and destroys Africa's ability to reproduce food. These are the things that we are supposed to start talking about when we are talking about emancipation of Africa and economic emancipation of Africans. There is no independence in Africa if your food is controlled by the Americans, the Swiss, and the Germans. Pass this message to every African. Make them understand that it is important to maintain traditional seeds. It is important to eat only food that has got seeds, so that you have the ability to reproduce your food. There is
That is why we are passing the message. You know, they have colonized us physically. They have colonized us using our government, controlling our government. Now they are coming to our villages in order to make us to be food dependent. That is food colonialism they are in now. They want to hold us. That is you know, there is no way, no shaking. You know that that is the way they want to hold us. Are you going to be there? No, na mini. We will not accept it. Let us go back to farming, please. These people you see that we come to tell you about what they studied in the way that is the you know, agricultural, technological, this and that seed, and tell them, let us cultivate our own thing. That seed, natural seeds that have been there since time immemorial in our land. Do you remember the exposition of Dr. This doctor, what is the name? Enyimba, what is the name? About the brigade. He said the natural seedlings are still, you can still find them in the southern part of Nigeria, the southwest, the southeast. That is why they are fighting very hard, using Fulani headsmen to destroy, to discourage our people from farming. Let us remain resilient and say, no, it cannot happen. That is why ESN is there. And you must support ESN. You must support it. Otherwise, once we become food dependent, I used to see our people buying cartons of Indomie. Hey, neti, anego poison, neri poison. Tomorrow you will be seeing when you are suffering from one sickness or the other. Now you are so-called man of God will tell you that it is your village. Do you see how ignorance they bear fruit? Ignorance they multiply. They reproduce and bear children. You will be eating things that are imported, the things that you don't know the content. Now when you start suffering from the consequence of your own ignorance, you say, now you turn back against your people that are not, they don't know anything about what you are suffering. Now you turn against them, bringing hatred. Do you see how multiple faceted they are fighting us? Here on Radio Biafra, we make sure that we open the eyes of our people. I am telling you, there is this Enugu government, this news headline. Enugu government vows to mobilize youths for the ongoing Nigeria army recruitment. I want our people to be wise, please. The government or governors, they don't, most of them, they are not there for you. Now let me ask, I think during the campaign you had reports of them are promising, is it 4,000 Imo youths that there are jobs waiting for them in Canada, in Germany, in Europe and America. Have any person asked, where are those people? Where are those promises? People, we are clapping. Do you see how useless and ignorant our people can be? Do you see it? Today, no person is talking, asking who pose on him. What about that? Do you see the difference? When, for example, as Donald Trump is trying to be the president, any promise he make, and if he wins, for example, they will hold him accountable. They will say, Mister, you said this, you have not achieved it. Joe Biden, the same thing. The same thing. They don't just talk, say to convince for talking sake to convince voters. No, they speak what they have to do. But in our own land, people are sentimental. People are ignorant. That is why people could be easily manipulated. Before you know it, I know you can buy. Onye bono. Okay. So you have to vote for him because onye bono. Now support onye buy. But you want to go Germany. Whether the German chancellor is from your place, but you go there, you have work. You want to die to go to Spain. The Spanish prime minister, is it from your village? You want to you are dying to go London. Try every time trying. Now they say let us bring no application. We are going to give us a family visa. Is Rishi Sunak you are from Enugu, or is he from Iguacha? Is he from your community, from your village? Why then do you always, you useless yourself? Here we talk about, we bow to superior argument. All those people you want to go in America, you want to travel to Japan to searching for greener pasture. Those that are providing that greener pasture in Japan, in South Korea, in Spain, their leaders, do they come from your village? But for you to do somebody, for you to support somebody that merits the thing, you cannot. You now enter into a village. Do you see how idiotic, foolish you are? Do you see? What we always talk about here is common sense. It's common sense. Because it's common sense that develops, advances a nation. Therefore, Enugu government, according to the news, May 8, 22 hours ago, vows to mobilize youth for the ongoing Nigerian military recruitment. They will now switch talk our youths in Enugu into doing their bidding, being candidates of slaughter for the Fulani. They will carry you, go and put you in Sambisa forest to kill you, to be slaughtered. Whereas they carry the Boko Haram, so-called repentant terrorists, they bring them in our land to be slaughtering our people without pity, burning our houses. Do you see it? How in Nigeria we are losers? I say Nigeria is our graveyard. All round we are losing. All round we are losing. As long as Nigeria is concerned. Do you see it? Please, as a Biafran, do not enter into the Nigerian military. They will kill you. They will, once they see you as an Igbo man, as a German, as a Biafran, they kill you are a candidate. You are a candidate for Boko Haram, candidate for slaughter by Boko Haram or ISIS. ISWAP, Islamic State, or West African province. It's Islamic State. It's what the Fulani they have been fighting for. Remember, Ottoman Danfodio initiated the caliphate. He started change the name of Gober into Sokoto Caliphate, Fulani Caliphate. So it is Fulani Islamic Caliphate. Do you see that? So when you see ISWAP, it is what Sheikh Gumi say. He is 100% right that those terrorists are the Fulani warriors, because that is what Ottoman Danfodio has been fighting since 1804 till date. So do not think that it is maybe something else. Nigerians are gullible. They don't reason. I call the federal government to come and help us to see this. Why ISIS now? Wow, ISWAP. But it is the federal government you are calling, the Nigerian government that is, that is bringing all these terrorists, sponsoring them in your presence. Otherwise, how do you think that Fulani that is not up to 1.5% of Nigerian population is killing everybody, everywhere? They are using state resources to support them, and you are still calling the state government. I mean, you are still calling the state in order to come and help you. Are you not more than a fool? That is why IPOB is doing what we are doing. Because if we do nothing, if we stand and do nothing, waiting for Nigerian government to help us, we will all die. Remember, Danjuma say, protect yourself. That the Nigerian military is no more neutral. It's not neutral. He say if you don't protect yourself, you will be taken out one by one. Have you forgotten? But Nigerians do forget. Now let me read another news headline. So if you say you are joining Nigerian military, sorry, bye-bye. Bye-bye, you are -1. I'm minus go give from our account. Because after, you will be sent to Sambisa forest where you will no more come back. They will kill you, they will butcher you, and you will no more come back. That is it. Let me also read this news headline before I open the lines to take few calls, please. EEDC, Destruction Company, addresses misinformation allegations against company, affirms commitment to customers. Now, let me read it. I want to read it a bit. The attention of the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company PLC, which is the real name is Ewete Weara Demolition or Destruction Company, has been drawn to the publication, which has been trending across the social media, loaded with false and unfounded information, all in a bid to smear the reputation of EEDC and pitch its esteemed customers against the organization. These are what you used to hear, normal jargon you used to hear from the mainstream. That is a normal thing. But this is jargon. Considering the weighty allegations, misleading information, and falsehood contained in this publication, we are compelled to react and set the record straight in the interest of our esteemed customers, whom we have committed to serve. Okay. Responsibility of EEDC in the electricity value chain. EEDC is a distribution company. Listen. With a license only to distribute electricity, EEDC does not generate electricity. Neither does it transmit electricity, but only distribute that which is generated and transmitted to each. It therefore will be unfair to blame EEDC of not providing adequate electricity in the southeast, a situation that is totally beyond its control. Now, let me ask, if as a concerned company that is serving the people, when you see that you are not a generating electricity generation company, you are only distributing, and you are distributing nothing. They give you nothing, and you still calling yourself that you are distributing, whereas you are using that avenue in order to siphon the population, to scam the masses. Why then, when you don't, when you say okay, they don't generate nothing, then why are you distributing? It's better you stop and resign and liquidate your company and tell the government that, look, I can no more face the public because it is a disgrace. They are calling us a bad name, which we are not, because there is nothing to distribute. Now, why are you distributing? Why a distributing company? Why? What is it? What does it mean? All this bureaucracy is the way they siphon money. Why should there be a separate distribution company? Whereas even nothing to distribute. Okay, for example, people are hungry now. Let me give you an example of what they are doing. People are hungry. People are starving in a community. Now, There is one, for example, one non-governmental organization that came, or let me say one company that came to feed the people. They now bring people distributors, people that if they put food in a plate, they will distribute the food to those that are starving. Now you carry, they give you empty tray, empty plates. Put 5 plates in a tray. Say, oh yeah, carry, go and give to the starving people. And you say, no, I'm a distributor. I don't care whether there is food inside the plate or not. You go and carry, empty plates. Go and give starving people. What do you think that will happen? They will cut your head and use it to play football. Do you think that they will start looking for, where is the characters that give you this plate? No, because they say you are stupid. It is you we see, we know. Do you see the situation? Here we bring you sound analysis and common sense. Common sense. You say you're a distributor. Now they package empty plate that doesn't contain food. They write or they package it on top of it. They say there is food, and you yourself a distributor, you know that there is no food there. Now they tell you carry it, go and give it to these people that are starving. Go. Are you going to go? You will resign. Say, oh boy, Oga, if this na my work, I beg, I resign. I know they go. These people, they will kill me there. If you want, use your hand, go. Is it not what is so-called EEDC? There is what they should tell the Nigerian government. Say, we are no more interested in distributing because there is nothing to distribute. Is it not commonsensical, please? Do you see here we raise superior arguments? Our arguments are superior. Forget about what they are writing in jargon. That's why they cannot come to defend anything. They'll just write in jargon on them. If you see that, okay, there is nothing to distribute, that the generation, there is nothing to generate, they are generating almost nothing, and they are telling you, I distribute. You say, why can't you ask, say, okay, but what are we distributing? It's nothing, it's not sufficient, not in self. So why should we distribute nothing and be collecting money from the masses? Which means they put EEDC with the population. Say, oh yeah, just deceive them. Do as if you are distributing something. Collect money from them as you wish. Collect money, and you accept. You agree. And they are coming here to say that we are talking. What we are saying is not truth. Just tell me who is saying, who is making sense. They say it's misinformation, whereas they are distributing nothing, but they go every month to collect money. They give bills for distributing nothing. How do you see it? Oh, sometimes I become confused. Sometimes I'm saying, how can somebody be talking because he have the avenue to write? Now they start writing nonsense. He says misinformation. Now tell me what you are distributing. You remove yourself that whatever you are distributing doesn't concern you, but you are distributing. Even if it means nothing, that you are distributing nothing, it doesn't concern you. Does it make sense? You will have to have something to distribute. If you distribute empty plate to hungry people and you call them, give me money, this is empty plate, this is plate. The hungry man that he said, why should I pay for empty plate? He said, no, I'm a distributor, I don't care, I don't know, but you must give me money, you must pay me. He will use that plate and scatter your head. Do you see? They are calling it misinformation, but it's not misinformation. What we are saying is reality. If they know that they are not producers of electricity, they are not electricity generators, and they know that those where electricity, Nigerian government is not generating electricity, talk less of enough, and they make them to be distributor, which means they want to use them to face the public, for them to suffer what the Nigerian government, the electricity generator should suffer. The best thing for them is to resign and say, no, we quit, we are no more distributing, because there is nothing to distribute. Every day we are facing problem. That is how it should be. But for you, as long as they are not, they don't do this, which means they are collaborators. They are suffering our people because they are scamming. They are scamming our people. Why giving them nothing? Distributing nothing. Oh, they just put a wire. At the no electricity. At the end of the month, they bring you bill, say you must pay. And you ask, but no, you didn't serve me. They say no, we are distributor. We are not interested whether they give you electricity or not. Oh, he get a joke with the person. Is he making sense? But it's the person that come to say, no, pay me, you must pay, otherwise I scatter this. I do. You say, are you well at all? Or do you see that they don't make sense? He say EEDC can only distribute what it gets from the national grid based on its allocation, which is dependent on the total energy generated in the country. Do you see? He said they can only distribute what it gets, which means even if you don't get nothing, it will still feel that, oh, we are distributing, don't worry. There is a type of message you will be sent. You say, no, this is shameful, I cannot go. Otherwise, I have problem with that person. As a mature person, that is how you do. That is how you should be. If you see, if EEDC know, as they see that, look, the electricity generation is not is nothing. So what are we distributing? Is the only causing problem between us and customers or Nigerians or the population? Now what are we doing? We better stop it. But will they do it? They will not, because what they are writing is nonsense. They are stifling people, squeezing money out from people for giving nothing. Are you seeing it? And do you know they use our own people? They use our own people in order to do what they are doing. I make all for the owner of EDC. Do you see the kind of people? These are go and Google the Fulani question interview of Rudolph, between Rudolph Okonkwo and that one Yoruba man. They call it the Fulani question. It's in YouTube. The man explained how the Fulani work. Say if they come to a community, they will check out the person that either greedy or that is if he talk, people will listen, that can mobilize people. Now they will come to him, make him wealthy, give him any support. Now they use him. A maker for is somebody the Fulani has groomed to be using in Igbo land. Any governor that he will go and pay obeisance. They will refer him to, because he's their agent. The same way Goodluck Jonathan was referred to Babangida when he traveled to Israel to meet Netanyahu. And they deny him, say you cannot meet Netanyahu. We have our agent in Nigeria. Why do you bypass him to come to Prime Minister, Israeli Prime Minister? Say before you cannot see him unless you go back and see Babangida. Goodluck Jonathan that time, he came out because so in order to save face and give out to the public something, they saw him in a wailing wall, because there is no wall to pray in Biafra or in Biafra land or in the whole Nigeria. He have to go there to pray. Oh, Africa, I not touch, honestly speaking, I not touch. You have to go, hey, come to pray for Nigeria, hey, Okwonye Yehuda, Okwonye Otu Yehoshua Yahamashai Consulting. Okwonye Otu, hey, we sent him a man on the Awukureka, I will go high immediately. Yeah, but as he, Goodluck Jonathan came back to Nigeria and met Babangida. Babangida was laughing. He said, nobody say you be Oga. I'm expecting you. I know you will come to me. So before I even talk to you, go and bring what is the name of this man? His own agent, to make him the CSO, the Chief Security Officer. Before I can even attend to you, a president too. And Jonathan was forced. Do you see how things work? When you enter into a system that you are not in control of, but the whole people are looking at you that you are in control. You are in control. They don't know that you are controlling nothing. Nada. When Babangida told him to go, what is the name of this guy? When they called the man laughed. He said, I know why you are calling. Don't even talk first. I know. Before you talk to me, why am I forgetting the name of this guy? When he called the guy said, hey, I know why you are calling. Don't even talk. I know. Before I even take your offer. Before I consider it, there is this man. Call him Lamido Sanusi. Take him to be put him in as the chairman of Central Bank, Nigeria Central Bank chairman. So once you announce him to be the chairman of Central Bank of Nigeria, now you call me, we talk. Do you see how they frustrate you? But people will be seeing he's in charge. They don't know that he was helpless. All the helpless. Dasuki was the chief security officer. Person that you see the foreign agents are in charge of your security. Otherwise, they block a whole president. They block you, sanction you not to buy any weapon. So to fight Boko Haram. So that Boko Haram will come to Asorok and take Atoroge Kawa baby. Do you see it? But you as the masses, they are watching. Oh, he's the president. They don't know that they born hit in a mayor and Shina buy. I know in a mess, so we need to buckle up in this self-determination. Otherwise, in this world, we are in a mess. The situation we are in, we don't have charge of our destiny. Anal in the west, Anal of Fulani. You see that we are in double wahala. The only thing is for us to buckle up. So let me read a bit. The EEDC, sorry. EEDC can only distribute what it gets from the national grid based on its allocation, which is dependent on the total energy. But for your information, let me say it now. Now it is obvious that electricity generation in Nigeria has been removed from the exclusive list, from the Nigerian government exclusive list. Are you hearing me? It has been removed so that any states can now generate their own electricity. That is why Excelency was able to work in connection with Nnamdi, in order to be generating electricity. No matter how small it is now, but it will be increasing. You know, our people, because of the suffering and the expectations we are expecting, the suffering we have been into, we want everything to be done under one day, but it is little by little. Why? So, what is holding other governors in our land, other Igbo governors? What is preventing them from making public offer from bright youths and bright students that can be able to be building different types of electricity generators in our land? What is holding them back? Nothing else, nothing holding them back. It's only greed that is holding them. Electricity generation, it can be if you know, in a same place, it could be encouraged. if you can build something that can bring electricity to your, even to your own village, your community, it should be welcome and even sponsored by the government. Do you see that? Because electricity generation should be is independent now. Is no more in the Nigerian federal government exclusive list, which means they have removed you. Any person, any governor, you can now encourage even communities to generate their own electricity. Once it is being sponsored by the state government, now the bills, now you have to now organize it so that electricity will be generated 24/7. It is doable in our land. It is doable. The only thing is organization and the greed of the people that there are these vampires that don't want any progress. As long as they are not sucking people's blood, they don't care. Even if they see somebody that can be able to produce electricity, generate electricity through either his own locally built windmill or anyhow local dam, anyhow, they will not agree. As long as they are not in charge, as long as it will alleviate people's problem, they don't want it. They want something that the people will be suffering every day, suffering, like what EEDC is saying. They look at people, they go and give people bill, force money out of it for something they didn't use. And then they are saying, they are exonerating themselves that no, they are not generators of electricity. They are only distributing what they see. And what did they see? Why? How can you distribute zero? How can you be distributing zero? Is it possible? And you know that you are distributing zero, but you want to make money. You are telling people to pay money for zero. How do you see it? Do you see that these people have nothing? So EEDC, as IPOB has said it through our press release, they either buckle up and start distributing electricity 24/7, because without electricity you can never talk about advancement of a country, economic growth. It's impossible. Everything is based on electricity. Do you know how much our people are spending on electricity every day? Buying gas or petrol to power their generators. People that are welding, battery chargers, different professions that need electricity to thrive. No way. Do you know this is one of the reasons why factories are not common in our land? Because when you talk about factory, you must talk about power. How are you going to buy heavy lister that will be engulfing millions of naira worth of fuel every day or every week, and you think of making benefit from your investment? It is impossible. So when you talk about economic growth, electricity is there. That is number one. It drives economic growth. That is why IPOB, we are holding EEDC responsible. They are crying crocodile tears, shedding crocodile tears. If they see that, there is no electricity generation, so let them stop and tell the government, we are no more, please, we are no more interested in generating electricity, in distributing. Because you cannot tell me they give you zero, nothing to distribute, and you are happy, so okay, you distribute zero. It's impossible. And after you collect money, and you come to tell me that you are not responsible. No, we are no more to be deceived by their cheap lies. So EEDC is responsible. I don't want to enter into details in their nonsense write-up. What we know that EEDC is responsible if either they take full responsibility of their actions. Taking our people's money and distributing zero electricity. Or they just get out. They resign. They will stop their company and say, no, tell Nigeria or state government, say, no, we are no more interested, please. Otherwise, we continue holding them responsible. As IPOB press release says, we are going to pursue them. If they don't bring 247 electricity, we will pursue them from Biafra land. When IPOB talk, they will, they know now. The way we do it, sometimes I won't hear now. They know the way we do it. Sometimes. That is it. I am telling you. When they talk, I saw where they talk about the vandalization. They are the people that are organizing this. For your information, they organize. They will go and say they will put wire, and in the night they meet their agents. Say go and take them. They talk about vandalization. Why are they not vandalizing crude oil? Pipes. What about the gas pipe that go from Izombe, from our mama down to Warri, down to Niger? Why are they not? Why is it not being vandalized? So let us stop this nonsense. They are cheap lies. We hold them responsible. Are you hearing me? Let me conclude by reading the press release, and I will go into a few minutes break so that when I come back I will open the line. But let me read this press release, please. IPOB press release of 9th of May 2024. IPOB advises Biafran youths not to join Nigeria Army recruitment exercise going on now and calls on Nigerian youths to wake up. The global family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, ably led by the great and indomitable leader, Mazi Kanu, cautions Biafran youths not to join the recruitment exercise currently being advertised by the Nigerian army. It will be foolishness for any sane Nigerian youth, particularly Biafran youth, to sacrifice his or her life to save a sinking ship called Nigeria. Terrorism and insecurity is a lucrative business in Nigeria. Northern leaders, with tacit support from the federal government of Nigeria, being helped by foreign colonizers, groom the terrorists that are ravaging the northern region. These terrorists have taken full control of many areas in the northern Nigeria. They have acquired sophisticated weapons through the help of late Muhammadu Buhari Fulani's government. The terrorists are seeking to create their own Islamic state in the north. These terrorists declared war on the Nigerian government and her soldiers and have successfully depleted the Nigerian military manpower. More so, the low morale, tribalism, nepotism and poor salary in the Nigerian army have forced a lot of soldiers to proceed on voluntary retirement. Some of the soldiers that applied for voluntary retirement and were refused by the Nigerian army have forced a lot of soldiers to proceed on some of the soldiers that applied for voluntary retirements and were refused by the Nigerian army authorities absconded in what the military refers to a wall. These factors have forced the Nigerian military to advertise for recruitment almost twice or thrice in a year. It is imperative to inform the Nigerian youth, especially the Biafran youth, to avoid being recruited by the Nigerian army to be sent to be sacrificed for terrorism business of the cabals. Only ignorant youths will fall into this trap and be used for insecurity cash out. If you get recruited, you are mostly likely going to be deployed into the terrorized northern region and most likely going to be murdered by the terrorists groomed and sponsored by the Nigerian government and its military. These terrorists receive security brief on the movement of the Nigerian soldiers from their members among the Nigerian military hierarchy. By now, every sensible Nigerian youth should understand that the insecurity and terrorism in Nigeria is a big business enterprise for the cabal. The higher the insecurity and terrorist attacks, the more money are looted via bloated arms purchase and security votes. Nigeria governments, the military, and the northern elders are cashing out under the cover of fighting terrorism and insecurity, but behind the closed doors, they wine and dine with the terrorists. A government that pays ransom in millions of dollars to terrorists is indirectly funding terrorism. We advise Biafran youth not to be lured into their untimely death. They should not allow themselves to be exploited into a money-making business of terrorism. IPOB advises Igbo to keep off from the Nigerian Army recruitment exercise. Remember, Igbo youths are endangered species, and our enemies think that you can be sent to the slaughterhouse of terrorists and jihadists. The Nigerian government will never announce recruitment into good jobs that will benefit the youths, but into suicide mission job like their Boko Haram infiltrated army. Any Igbo youth who would like to serve in the Nigerian military should wait a little while longer for the coming of Biafra nation, where military service will be recognized and rewarded accordingly. It is time that the Nigerian youth ask the looting club politicians to bring their children who are overseas partying and enjoying their parents' loots to return home and join the Nigerian army in order to defend their parents' business enterprise called Nigeria. Nigeria youth, wake up. Biafran youths are already awake. Comrade Emma Powerful, Media and Publicity Secretary for the indigenous people of Biafra. There's a pertinent question that is asked here. Will Nigeria start advertising good jobs openly? The good jobs, so nice jobs, would they? The answer is no. But when it comes to suicide, go and commit suicide for Nigeria. Go and be slaughtered by Boko Haram, by the Fulani warriors called the bandits, the headsmen. Now they start advertising. Who cares to save Nigeria? Nigeria is unsolvable. This is where I'm going to stop. I will go into a few minutes break and open the line just for a few calls, please. But do not go away. I will be right back. Please do not go away. I will be right back.
Is not able to produce food now. Think that Zimbabwe is not able to produce food now because of the drought and because farms were taken from white farmers and given to black farmers. That is not the truth. The truth is Zimbabweans are failing to produce because it used to cost a Zimbabwean farmer, a small-scale black farmer in Zimbabwe, 0 cents and just labor to produce a hectare of food. But today, these Zimbabwean farmers were persuaded by companies like Seedco to get rid of their traditional seeds that used to be able to reproduce, and they were given these hybrids that do not reproduce or that continue to have reducing reproduction until they stop reproducing. Now the Zimbabwean farmer doesn't have that seed that can reproduce. So every season, the Zimbabwean farmer must go and buy new seeds. And these hybrids do not just grow, but they need fertilizers and chemicals to make them grow. So the Zimbabwean farmer must buy new seeds every season, fertilizer and pesticides to protect these hybrids. So now to produce a hectare in a village costs a farmer nothing less than $250 to buy the seeds together with the fertilizer for him to grow the food. This is a problem that is causing Zimbabwe to lose its food self-sufficiency. And the problem is that all the PhD graduates, master's degree graduates, and graduates that are teaching our people how to farm in Zimbabwe come from an education system created by the very same organizations in America that are selling these hybrid seeds and chemicals. So that's why we are in a cycle where we continue to produce food unsustainably in Zimbabwe, listening to graduates. Right now, the permanent secretary of agriculture in Zimbabwe, I think his name is John Basera, came from this company called Seedco that is owned by Lima Grain of France, while Lima Grain of France is owned by Monsanto, the American company that is the biggest producer of GMOs and chemicals that are used in farming. These very same organizations work with an institution in which Strive Masiyiwa was the chairman, that is called AGRA, that belongs to the Rockefeller Foundation, together with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, to control food in the world and to ensure that Africa comes into food colonialism. This institution was started by Kofi Annan so that they could get the trust of Africans to control African food and to put Africa into food colonization. The main reason I speak against Strive Masiyiwa is because he is bringing food colonialism to Africa through these GMOs, hybrids, and all this that they call agricultural technology of chemicals that destroys our soils and destroys Africa's ability to reproduce food. These are the things that we are supposed to start talking about when we are talking about emancipation of Africa and economic emancipation of Africans. There is no independence in Africa if your food is controlled by the Americans, the Swiss, and the Germans. Pass this message to every African. Make them understand that it is important to maintain traditional seeds. It is important to eat only food that has got seeds so that you have the ability to reproduce your food.
Invest in agriculture. Have you ever paused to question? Welcome to IPOB Rapture Media, IPOB Call to Action, Biafrans Return to Farming, Invest in Agriculture. Have you ever paused to question the importance of self-sufficiency in food production, food self-sufficiency, or the ability of a nation to feed its own people from its own resources, plays a pivotal role in securing a country's future. It's more than just filling our bellies. It's about nourishing our economy, our workforce, and our independence. Imagine being at the mercy of external sources for your daily bread. It's like a constant game of tug-of-war at where your sustenance is the rope. Any moment the balance could tip and you'd be left scrambling for resources. This reliance could pose potential threats to national security and economic stability. Outsourcing our food needs puts us in a vulnerable position, susceptible to price hikes, supply chain disruptions, or even political manipulations. But let's flip the coin and look at the benefits of self-sufficiency in food production. Firstly, it empowers our economy. When we invest in agriculture, we're not just planting seeds in the soil, we're sowing the seeds of economic growth. The farm-to-table journey involves many hands, from farmers to transporters, from retailers to restaurateurs. Each link in this chain represents a job, a livelihood, a boost to our economy. Secondly, it ensures food security. By growing our own food, we can control the quality and quantity of our produce. We're also less likely to experience food shortages, ensuring that no one in our community goes to bed hungry. Lastly, it promotes sustainability. Agriculture done right can be a tool for environmental conservation, preserving our land's fertility for future generations. So you see, self-sufficiency in food production is not just a matter of pride, it's a matter of survival, of economic prosperity, and of national security. Understanding the importance of food self-sufficiency sets the stage for our discussion on the call to action from IPOB. Recently, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, called on Biafrans to return to farming and invest heavily in agriculture. This is not just a call to action, but a clarion call for survival and self-sufficiency. The world is on the brink of a food crisis, and Nigeria is no exception. An impending famine looms large, threatening to cast a dark shadow over the land. But here's the thing. Biafrans are not destined to be victims, but victors. IPOB, led by the indomitable Mazi Kanu, believes that Biafra has the means and the fertile lands to avert this impending danger. This call to action isn't just about planting seeds in the ground, but planting seeds of hope, resilience, and self-reliance. And it's not just about farming. It's about creating an entire ecosystem that supports agriculture, from cash crops to animal husbandry. It's about building agricultural cottage industries that process and preserve agricultural products for export, turning Biafra into a powerhouse of agricultural productivity. So where do you come in? IPOB is appealing to all Biafrans philanthropists to support farmers in their communities. But this support doesn't only mean giving temporary food items. It means providing seedlings and other farming implements. It means encouraging and supporting farmers to go back to farming, to go back to the land that once provided for us all. And it's not just about the present, but about the future. IPOB is urging Biafrans to invest in agricultural research centers. Why? Because quality research and development is key to growing our native food products efficiently and sustainably. It's about learning how to fish, not just buying fish to eat. This call to action is not just about investing in agriculture, but also about investing in the future of Biafrans. It's about securing our food supply, about ensuring we are not left vulnerable. It's about taking control of our destiny, one seed at a time. Because at the end of the day, a nation that can feed itself is a nation that can stand tall and strong, no matter what comes its way. IPOB is not just calling for action, but also taking tangible steps to promote agriculture in Biafra. The indigenous people of Biafrans, or IPOB, is not simply sounding the horn for agricultural investment, but it's also actively participating in the drive. A key aspect of its involvement.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Alo province of Biafra land, and we are here live and direct. Today is the 9th day of May 2024. We must continue. Our lines are now open. I will just take a few calls, please. Our lines are now open. Our direct line is +1 213 328 6224. I repeat, +1 213 328 6224. Our WhatsApp and Signal line is +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 405 142 547. Yesterday, I tried, or day before yesterday, on the 7th, I tried to broadcast, but I had some, I think, connectivity problem. I think so. It's connectivity problem. You know, sometimes it can happen. But we must continue. I think that broadcast, I will repeat it any of these days. I have callers already lining up. I will take 2 or 3 calls, please. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Welcome to the program. Caller on WhatsApp.
Hello?
Yes, welcome to the program, please.
As in Dewo. Biafrans, I greet all of us all over the world. Thank God for another great night. Mazi Jonathan. Biafrans, as we continue to move forward to our freedom and continue to pray for our leader, Mazi Nnamdi, to be released, because whether the zoo want it or not, they have to release him. It's a must. They must release him. Mazi and Biafrans, based on what you say, even though I didn't follow up when you started, I just come in halfway. Based on this Enugu Ruga, Mazi, there's based on where I work anyway, there's this DSS guy. He's an Igbo guy. When this thing happened yesterday, he just came to me and said, do you hear what Enugu State Governor did? That he was there when the cabals were telling him about this Teluga issue. I was even surprised. He said that even though some of our people were telling him never to accept, but he was surprised to hear it in the news that he later accepted to establish that route. Then what the guy told me anyway, let me see what IPOB will do about it. That if ever that IPOB accepts such nonsense that our own is finished, that Peter Kamba does not even know the gravity of what he's trying to do. That some secret Igbos were telling him, do not do this. But later, look at what he did. But let's just watch, just like what he said. I said in myself, I know that IPOB will never, our leadership will never allow such nonsense to be established in our land. That once that thing is, in fact, we should say bye-bye to our land. And he was even saying that if only that if Peter Kamba go on to establish that rule, that anyway, sir, let me not, it's not everything that we say online anyway. Then there is something else he told me about our leader. That all the governors in our governors, all governors without any exemption, and all the politicians and the ex-senators and House of Rep, they had a communique that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should never be released. That this is the communique they had. That was what the man was telling me. That was why even when the president want to release him, those governors and politicians will take that communique to him, to the president, and say, look, if you release this guy, we are finished in the southeast. So what I was trying to say now, you see, the reason for them kidnapping our leader is to make sure that, you know, they are moving freely, nothing is happening to them, anything they want, they do. Now, my question is, as we are leaving them now to be doing whatever they like, is it not, trying to accept what they are saying, that actually is our leader that is causing all the problem? Because that was what the DSS guy told me, that everything happening in our land is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And now they are reporting, don't they see that there are some calm? This guy was like that. If I told you who, he said all of them without any exemption. So I don't know. I say anytime I call, even though I think there is a platform I've already I mentioned this, but I say anytime I call your platform, I'm also going to mention it for us to bear in mind what all those able politicians had in mind. That even they've already showed Tinubu, that even though Tinubu had in mind to release him, but they showed him the public. This is what we sign, that this guy should never do to release. So this is what I want to say. And moreover, I want to encourage our people that we should continue to contribute. This time is the more reason why we have to contribute for our freedom. We all see what Fulanis are doing all over the world, especially in our land, because that's where they have their interest. We have to contribute. This is freedom. You don't need to be pushed for your freedom. It has to be something that comes from your mind. Do it, contribute. Do whatever you have to do for your freedom to come, because when this freedom comes, everyone has to enjoy from it. Our generation to come. Just like some people will say P2B, I say P2B is a temporary solution to our problem. If they are assuming he enters there in the future, after 4 years they will push him aside. Another planning man will enter and will do whatever that he believes he will do. What will happen? You come again and say freedom, that the world will be looking at you as a very stupid person. Is it not better we gather ourselves and seek for a permanent solution to our problem? That once we have gotten this freedom, it's forever. Our people need to open up their eyes, their brain, and think forward. Not sometimes to think like, I don't even know the adjective to qualify some of our reasons sometimes. Mazi Ndewo, Biafrans, once again, I greet all of us. Please let us contribute to our ESN. Very important. Ndewo.
Doesn't matter what they are doing. The person responsible in Nigeria is Tinubu. That is on it. We must continue. Caller on direct line. Thank you for holding on. Mazi, can you hear me?
Yes. Mazi. Yeah, about about the Ruga, Plan Ruga in Enugu, it's obvious to all of us now that Peter Mba, of course, he did not even win, and that's how he bought his position, is to sacrifice all of us for his governor position. I wonder if whether IPOB can extract the names of all the lawmakers involved in that had anything to do with that Ruga thing, the governor himself and all the Congress, all the assembly folks, and splatter it all over social media so that Igbos will know their real predators, the real killers. Because these killers within are worse than the killers without. But then I'm very confident that IPOB will do the needful. So, that aside, about Monsanto and Bill Gates, Bill Gates is really fascinated about population of Africa. Population of Africa, you know, they have been coming in all kinds of ways. They complain about our birth rate. They give reasons why there's hunger in Africa. There's that one woman is having too many children. Even his one of his thoughts, what he does is that he has this so-called not-for-profit agencies. And these not-for-profit agencies then buy shares and become co-owners of these companies. And then using the profits from this, because I happen to live in St. Louis, Missouri, which is the birthplace of Monsanto. So Monsanto later got bought by Bayer that changed, so they now answer Bayer. To the point that farmers in America had sued Monsanto for the chemicals that they were selling the public to use. It was causing cancer. Monsanto almost lost all of its shares in America until it was bought by Bayer. And this thing they're trying to do in Africa, which they're already doing, they did it in India also. Also, one famous Indian agro activist, I'm trying to remember her name, she has been campaigning against Bill Gates for over a decade now. Her name I'm sorry, oh gosh, her name just, but if you Google Indian agro activist, you will see the lady's name. She has a very serious critique about activities of Bill Gates all over the world. And therefore, our people should hear the voice of IPOB. There is nothing a white man, any interaction between us or any non-white group with white people is always a disaster. I want anybody to think of any treaty that white government has made with non-white population that did not end in extermination or complete disaster. We do not do anything with these people. Nothing. They're the one Militias of Iraq during the first Iraqi war to rise up against Saddam Hussein during the time of Colin Powell. These people rose up and they didn't support them. And Saddam Hussein almost wiped these people out. What treaties have white people signed with the indigenous population that is not done? They never hold up their own side of the bargain. They negotiated with Putin about this NATO thing. They never honored it. They don't honor anything with anybody. And that's why I'm saying when Biafra comes, we have to do what Chinese did. We have to go inside and regenerate next. And we have to cut off all this. And that brings us our so-called pseudo-intellectuals that are working on all these UN agencies. People like Ngozi Okonjo Iweala. I kept thinking, if I were in the position of Ngozi Okonjo, I would never work for an agency like, which one was he work for? I think, is it IMF or World Bank?
I think it's World Bank.
What policy? Excuse me?
Go on. No, go on.
Yeah. What policy of the World Bank has ever benefited any African country? Can anybody tell me? These people are more meant for them not to either exterminate us or just harvest us as products, as raw materials. Human raw materials and natural raw materials. That's how they see us. So why should somebody like Ngozi Okonjo and many other intellectuals be working for all this? I will never. What we should be doing if we are professionals is to create a parallel organization that will serve a positive good for us. And I hate when our people tend to strive to be the first black this, the first black that. In somebody else's organization, even if they give you an opportunity, they just don't use it as a token, like they use every other black person. So my people on EXN even 10 more fold because these evil politicians are out to exterminate us. Thank you.
There were, Mazi. Thank you very much. Caller on signal. Mazi, yes, can you hear me? Thank you for holding.
Hello, I'm watching that.
Yeah, caller on signal. Caller on WhatsApp.
Yes, sir. Yes, my brother, I can hear you.
There were.
This is Isan Chukwumada. I'm calling from the Netherlands.
There were, Mazi.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother, for picking my call. To start with, I want to inform IPOB family members, all Biafrans and lovers of freedom, that our 30th May event, we will gather in front of Ganzinhof metro station by 10 a.m. When we gather there, then we go to our event ground where we march. And immediately after the march, our refreshment and ESN event will take place there. So when you are coming, be ready. Like our daughter, our sister who just called, who said, you need not be forced or cajoled or begged to save your own life. It is only a tree that hears that it will be cut down and stands. And we being here in the diaspora, the bit and the least we could do is to contribute to those who are guarding our mothers and our sisters and our family members to go to the farm without a long story. Because these people, they are coming and our governors, our political class are not helping matters. So we need to do ESN event after the during the refreshment in the hall after the march of to remember our fallen heroes and heroines. Now, my brother, you see, is it the same Nigerian army that they said that in Sambisa Forest when our people go there to fight as trained soldiers? Your comrade in arms will shoot you from behind saying you are killing too much Boko Haram. Is it the same army that are calling our people to come and join? Is it the same army that Boko Haram has superior firepower than a national army of a rich country like Nigeria? Is it the same army that they are calling you to come and join? Is it the same army that are killing our young men and women along our streets, along our villages and towns? Humiliating our people, disappearing our people, harvesting our organs. Is this the same army that calling you to come and join? Onye Jelieni, somebody who don't know what I said, we look for an Igbo person to interpret for him. But what I'm saying that Biafrans should use their brain. We want our own freedom. Why would we go and die for a country that is falling apart and doesn't care for you? You are not good in politics. They can't give you the highest political position in the land. They can't let you elect your own governors. They impose people on you. And okay, it's not working. Let us go. We don't go. We are the worst, the bad and ugly. Okay, we are bad and ugly. Let us go. Let us go. What kind of a country is that? And they're calling us to come and join their army to go and die for them. Anyway, what I want to tell our people in conclusion is it's our catchword, it's our catchphrase this time to do farming. And it's not like the bitter color, how it sounds is not like it's sweet. There was a day I was in this place talking about people who said that they will use vaccines and contraception and what else? The so-called pregnancy test. Health or whatever to reduce the population of the world. Those are the people who. How can somebody who are telling you that there are too many people in the world and they need to reduce it by at least 7.5 billion? That is people who they call eugenicists. These people believe that there are too many people on the world, too much people on the world, and it needs to be drastically reduced to up to 500 million. And that people, some people are carrying vaccine and medicine up and down and GMO seed up and down. You think they want to feed you to progress? Let us farm our local products and the seeds and the stems and all that. Our ancestors live with it, live long lives with it. It will serve us well. Like our brother Jonathan said when he was presenting, he said, while you are farming and harvesting, make sure you preserve for the next farming season so that you don't receive anything from anybody that will cause you the disease that you don't know about. That's why all these things are important in Nigeria, because Nigeria is importing anything. Even rotten things are being imported. Our people are eating, and this is that even myself, that I didn't know when I was growing up, it's a bad now in our place. It is time to cultivate what we eat, so we know the quality and quantity of what we eat. And God, the Creator, nature, gives every people the food that will serve them well to live a quality life. So let us cultivate and farm our own. God bless Biafra. Thank you, my brother.
There were Mazi. Caller, let me see. I think somebody is on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Please go on.
Father, good evening, sir.
There were Mazi.
Mazi Lotanna na-ekwu Mazi. Udochukwu Kabia ma dere Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ebe ọ bụ n'ọnọ. Udochukwu Kabia ma dere Mazi Jonathan. Mazi Jonathan, biko ebe nchọ ka ntị ịtụ ọrụ bụ na ekene dịrị Mazi Chinasanwo-Olu, Reverend Father Chinasanwo-Olu, maka ọmpa ka ọ bụ. Ihe nji na-akpụ unu mpa abụrụ ife ọzọ bụ na Fada unu na-eme ihe nna ga-emele nwa, because ọ ezigbo nna na-agba ọpụta asị na a ga-egbu nwa na mitin ọsị na-asị. Fada ọrụ na-arụrụ anyị si n'ike. Mazi Chinasanwo-Olu mee ka m nchọpụta ihe bụ EDDC nọ eweta ewere construction company. Ha Chineke ekene dịrị ya. Ya bụ ihe mere njiri ọmata the meaning of ya nwe na-agbakọkwa na ama n'eziokwu. Mazi ihe gbasatara ọkụ a ka na-egbuola anyị egbu Mazi, ebe nsi na-akpọ kịta na-abụ okpoko dị na ọgbaru dị na Anambra dị na Biafra land, ebe nsi na-akpọ ha ndị egbugo anyị Mazi ị na-ekwu na ndị akụrụ anyị n'uti Emeka Ọfọ ma ha kụrụ anyị n'ụwuti ma ndị polisi ịmakwa ihe a na-eme anyị fọsin ka a na-eme anyị n'ọkụ. Even nke eji ebe wepụsị ọkụ anyị last month a bụ alias that's na ya ihe ga alias maazị ihe ndị a na-eme ọkwa ebe ikwu abịa ka ebe agitate ha je kpọọ ndị polisi abịa kpọwa egbe so mọtọ mmadụ mgbọ ya ga na-eme anyị n'okpoko adịma ihe nna nwa gị bụ ihe nna receive so m na-abụ anọgide ha je plenty another beer wetewere 2 yard beer ofu yard a na-ewetara ya 2 beer asị gị na nke a dị iche nke a dị iche ị na-asị ya na ofu ewe ya ada na ọ dịrị pụọ ihe aka ndị a na-emekwa ego jọs enwere ike renew manager tos ndị egbuga ya egbu n'ọkụ maazị biko even iwe na-ekwukwu maka some people anyị some youth ibe m bụ dọmpụ ị na-ekwu ụfọdụ a na-ege gị ka ebuzo ya ala ị na-asa na ihe anyị dị abụlọ ndụ kama ihe anyị nụrụ ụmụ anyị ọgụ a wons onye ọbụla anaba ụmụ anyị ego ibe ndị ama na anyị bụ mmadụ na anyị abụla anụ ọfịa anyị na-akwụ ụgwọ a na-afụ ọsọ anyị ụgwọ ka dị weta ọkụ maazị anyị atagbugo onwe anyị n'afụ mana pepụl adịghị ekwute kama na ihe nna anyị unu bụ jisi n'ike maazị ọrụ a na-abaghị ọwụ nsọ anyị ekwochirigo bụ na anyị ekwochirigo ama m na wonde unu ga-atụkwado anyị nche niile eburu ọga wons enweghị ihe ọga onye ọbụla ya esi onye ọbụla ejebe ọkụ mmụọ ka na-ejebere enigwe ebe ọbụla na-eje bikos ebe anyị nọzi bụ ọkụ mmụọ fada enwezi ọkụ mmụọ karịrị nke a so onye ka nsị ka ntị jisi n'ike jisi ike Chinasa Nworu anụmanụ olu gị mpa aka m dị n'elu maazị Nnamdi Kanu anyị na-eti gị n'ekpere mpa enweghị ihe ga-eme ka ị ga-adị ndụ fụ Biafra ya ka nna eyi na-aga ize Chukwu oke abịa ma wepụrụ ime ife niile ise.
Do you see how they put our people into extreme suffering? You know, the situation we are in our land is more than war. I am telling you. People, you put strangulation all around. Use the police. You go out, no fun. They will extort from you. Come to electricity. They give you bill of something you didn't use. So electricity they didn't produce. They are just doing everything with impunity. Because we have Nigeria has no institution. It's not a place that can protect anybody. Anything you are doing is up. Who? It's a policy against us. I want people to. It's a policy against us. That is why when I see people that are doing anti-IPOB or anti what we are doing, I marvel. I saw. A video the other day. I don't know how new it is. So some people in some part of South Africa, our people, they video themselves how they were beaten. They were in their house. A group of South African boys, they come in, start telling them, go back to your place. They beat them, tear their body into pieces. They call the cops, nothing. So they beat us outside. Then when you come inside, it worst. Where are we going? The only thing is, that's why I'm saying the Biafra struggle, what we are doing is fighting for survival. I am telling you honestly. Fighting for survival. I don't know why Britain thought that if our existence as independent people that are in charge of their destiny is a threat against their interests. I don't know how on earth the Europeans, the West is thinking like this. I cannot understand, for my goodness. I conclude that it is a policy. They don't want us, they want black race to be in their hand. They want us to be always crying and weeping and begging. Crying always, crying. So come and help us, or they will send them Caritas after we start praising them. They feed us when they give us grain, they give us garigapon. But we want to be independent and be doing all these things for ourselves, so that we have purchasing power, we develop and continue contributing to our quota in this world. How is it going to be against the interests of Britain? Or against the interests of the West? How? We are human beings like them. I don't know why they see us as people that should be subjugated, people that should not be given any chance of being building their potential. People, I don't know, this world sometimes I cannot understand. For my goodness, I cannot understand. Why is it so? But come what may, I understand now that we are in a world of where anything you want, you have to fight for it. Whatever you want, you have to fight for it. It is not a world of bed of roses. That is one thing we should understand. We are in a world of exploitation. If we are a world where Mugu can work, we are in a world where, people make sure to subjugate. We are in a world where power, justice belongs to the powerful. That is it. If you are weak, there is no space for you in this world. You continue going until you goes into extinction. I am telling you, that is what I've concluded in this world. But we must put our stamp in this world. That is why we are doing what we are doing. The problem is they use our own people in order to fight us, in order to steer us into the wrong direction. How can, after what happened in Lokbanta or Lokba, how the Fulani, how they they were given that place and they become a kidnapper's den, if not what Governor decided to do. Now another governor will be thinking of giving ranching. No, IPOB will not allow it. IPOB will not allow it. This be the person to. I cannot understand how private business, everything now, the Fulani, they want everything be given unto them, land unto them. Their private business. It's not going to be done. Honestly, we are the people. We are the people. Are you hearing me? We are the people. They want to constitute something that in the next few years, it become, by that time Petamba will no more be a governor. The people, the masses will be suffering the consequences. Our land will be a place of occupation by the Fulani. They will create a problem, knowing fully well that look, that is they have their agenda, Fulanization agenda. Once they create that problem, they will give you that their agenda as a solution. Oh, you want peace? Oh yeah, we'll bring land, and they will use government to do it, government resources to do it. No, we will not continue in this. Honestly, never. Thank you for listening. Biafra remains our ideology, our religion, our priority, everything. Nothing can stop us from doing what we are doing. We have come. There is no more. If we are talking of going back, we have no back to go. Remember that 30th May in Biafra land, it will be total lockdown. As you had from Mazi Jonathan, from our First Lady, we beseech you, we beg you that Biafra land, we appeal to your conscience. We must learn how to remember our heroes and heroines. Biafra land must be under lock and key. And this agricultural project, please, it is something that is a challenge to us. It's a challenge to our existence. Therefore, we shall never look down on it. Corona Afioto agricultural revolution in our land. That is it. Please, agricultural revolution. Bill Gates, they want us to be food dependent on them, so that how we remove our generations. Are we going to allow this? It's a tree that when you say I will cut you, you will sit down there and be waiting, because they cannot run. But when you tell an animal or when you see a human being say, I will kill you, it will run. At least it will run away. So, when with all these plans of Biget as revealed by Dr. Njemanze and others far away Zimbabwe, that this is what they are doing. They want us to be food dependent on them so that they will use poisonous food and kill us. They will use GMO and kill us. That has been what they don't want us alive. They want to deal with the black race so that we shall always, they feel that is remaining will be like animals in their presence, begging always. That is why I have problem with the religion they bring. People, how do you think that these people will give you a religion that will make you go a better place? This is common sense. It's common sense. People that don't want you to be free, even in this world, the physical world, you and I that are staying. They don't want you to be free. They want to kill you. But they brought a religion with a book that tells you all the good things that you will see, but only you have to die first. Don't you see that there is something terribly wrong? We need to fight our way through in this world and become really free. I am telling you. Otherwise, there is no future for our coming generations. There is no future for our coming generations. Look at any African country that is fighting for. Look at Eritrea. How long do they fight? 17 years. Before the international community, the world order will say, okay, Orango Tangona, don't kill on ourselves. Oh, yeah, let us help them. They will separate them. Look at South Sudan that started their war 1955, 55 or 56, before their independence, 1955. It's a few years back that they wrote their independence. Without the person that started that edition, John Garang, people's law favorite, they made sure to put us in subjugation and suffering, kind of take crazy all the time. But look at European countries. Some of the European countries are not up to 500,000. Iceland, they made sure to any people anywhere in Europe you see different tribes, like in Switzerland, they made it very loose federation so that any tribe that wants to go, they are welcome. But in Africa, they will go stay together. But what is the problem? And we are dying, we are suffering and dying. They say, no, you must stay together. British policy is one Nigeria. Are you the British that are suffering this? But they run away from European Union because they want to be in charge of their life, of their destiny in UK. But when they come to our land, you must be together. People that are incompatible, you must be together. Because this soil will kill all of them. I am telling you. Because they are sucking our oil. They take us as animals. They want to dictate anything that concerns us. They know what is good for us more than we do ourselves. Which kind of people are these? And that's why it pains me a lot when our people praise the religion they give, that they give us light, is the only life. So these people can give you something positive, something that you go and enjoy, and they are bringing poisons to kill us. Let us think twice, please. Common sense is not common. Let us think twice. Let us think twice. Imagine, go and apply for visa to go to Germany, to go to England. Now you see how difficult it is. But they give you free heaven. Oh, it's express. Only believe. Very free. They made it very simple. Just believe. Don't you see that there's something terrible? There is something agenda there. Don't you see that? Do you think that they are interested in your life, your good life? Look at how they are. They want to kill everybody with their poison they call food. If we are food dependent on them, we are finished as a people. These people, they mix up anything to kill. They use COVID-19, they they cannot achieve their mission. They cannot achieve. Now, who is talking about COVID-19 again? Oh, they will give you this thing for you to go, be traveling without this thing. How do they call that pass? You cannot travel with without COVID-19's pass. This and that. Who is talking about it again? Because they know that all those these are propaganda. These are propaganda. They everywhere. They want to kill these people. They want to kill Africans. They want to subjugate Africa. What is it? What is it? What did we do them? What did we do them? It is for us to rise up and continue fighting until we become free. Now we start taking our destiny in our own hands, and we represent no menace, no threat to Europe. We represent the only thing we solicit. You come, you do business with us as equal. The same way the Europeans were coming pre transatlantic slave era. They come, they do genuine business in our land, our confederacy, the Benin Empire. We produce a Benin Empire produce soap. That time Europe never knew anything like soap. They don't know nothing. They don't know how to wash themselves. Africa introduced soap to them. How to bath, how to wash. All these are histories you can never see. They don't bring it to, they tell you that we are non-entities, we don't know nothing. But many things they learn from Africa, we give it to them. How then do you think that if we have our destiny in our own hands, that is going to be a menace to Europe? For what? Also, they thought that with the evil they committed in our against us, that we are going to revenge. No way. There is no. We need to build our own lives so that we live life like them. We don't have time of thinking of revenge. No, only let us be left alone in order to take our destiny in our own hands. That is what we solicit, and nothing more. Thank you for listening. Biafra remains our religion, our ideology, and we must go there. We must reach there. We must reach our destination. From me, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, from here, it is simply good evening.
Zimbabwe is not a. So here is the. Now, because of the drought. So here is the problem. Many Zimbabweans think that Zimbabwe is not able to produce food now because of the drought and because farms were taken from white farmers and given to black farmers. That is not the truth. The truth is Zimbabweans are failing to produce because it used to cost a Zimbabwean farmer, a small-scale black farmer in Zimbabwe, 0 cents and just labor to produce a hectare of food. But today, these Zimbabwean farmers were persuaded by companies like Seedco to get rid of their traditional seeds that used to be able to reproduce, and they were given these hybrids that do not reproduce or that continue to have reducing reproduction until they stop reproducing. Now the Zimbabwean farmer doesn't have that seed that can reproduce, so every season the Zimbabwean farmer must go and buy new seeds. And these hybrids do not just grow, but they need fertilizers and chemicals to make them grow. So the Zimbabwean farmer must buy new seeds every season, fertilizer and pesticides to protect these hybrids. So now to produce a hectare in a village costs a farmer nothing less than $250 to buy the seeds, together with the fertilizer for him to grow the food. This is a problem that is causing Zimbabwe to lose its food self-sufficiency. And the problem is that all the PhD graduates, master's degree graduates, and graduates that are teaching our people how to farm in Zimbabwe come from an education system created by the very same organizations in America that are selling these hybrid seeds and chemicals. So that's why we are in a cycle where we continue to produce food unsustainably in Zimbabwe, listening to graduates. Right now, the permanent secretary of agriculture in Zimbabwe, I think his name is John Basera, came from this company called Seedco that is owned by Lima Grain of France, while Lima Grain of France is owned by Monsanto, the American company that is the biggest producer of GMOs and chemicals that are used in farming. These very same organizations work with an institution in which Strive Masiyiwa was the chairman, that is called AGRA, that belongs to the Rockefeller Foundation, together with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, to control food in the world and to ensure that Africa comes into food colonialism. This institution was started by Kofi Annan so that they could get the trust of Africans to control African food and to put Africa into food colonization. The main reason I speak against Strive Masiyiwa is because he is bringing food colonialism to Africa through these GMOs, hybrids, and all this that they call agricultural technology of chemicals that destroys our soils and destroys Africa's ability to reproduce food. These are the things that we are supposed to start talking about when we are talking about emancipation of Africa and economic emancipation of Africans. There is no independence in Africa if your food is controlled by the Americans, the Swiss, and the Germans. Pass this message to every African. Make them understand that it is important to maintain traditional seeds. It is important to eat only food. Americans, the Swiss, and the Germans. Pass this message to every African. Make them understand that it is important to maintain traditional seeds. It is important to eat only food. Every African. Make them understand that it is important to maintain traditional seeds. It is important to eat only food.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Olu province of Biafra land. We are here live and direct